Good morning, ladies and gentlemen.
Good morning.
And welcome to the Shaw Ribbon Cutting Roundup. I'm Alexander Padro. I'm Executive Director of Shaw Main Streets, the economic revitalization and historic preservation nonprofit that serves Central Shaw's 7th and 9th Street commercial corridors. And we're here today at Calabash Tea and Tonic at 1847 7th Street Northwest, one of the 14 new, reopening, and expanded businesses that we're celebrating with ribbon cuttings. Back in 2000, yes, absolutely. Back in 2013, it became very clear that the pace of new business openings was such that we would not have the resources to be able to host a special event for each of our businesses as they opened. So we started to consolidate them. And initially, we cut 3 ribbons on one occasion. On the next occasion, we cut 5, then 7. And then finally, in December of 2014, right before Mayor Gray left office, we actually cut 17 ribbons in one 2.5-hour period. So this is a great tradition, and we're very excited to have Mayor Bowser continue this tradition with us here. And these 14 businesses are diverse in terms of their types. We have one tech firm. We have one very well-known bar that is reopening after having been closed for a while. We have 2 businesses that have significantly expanded their operations and their footprints. And then we have a number of businesses that are first-time operators, including our host here this morning, Dr. Sonyata Aman, is the owner of Calabash Tea and Tonic. And so we want to thank her for hosting us here this morning. In the 13 years that Shaw Main Streets has been in operation, we have helped to support the opening of almost 200 businesses. And that's quite considerable when you take into consideration that for decades, no one wanted to either have a business in Shaw or even live in Shaw. So we are the beneficiaries not only of the vision of a number of city leaders and property owners in the neighborhood, but also the vote of confidence that we've received both from the community, from individuals who have moved to this neighborhood, as well as the business owners who have decided that this is where they wanted to have their operations. So we're very grateful also to the hundreds of volunteers over the years that have contributed thousands of hours of their volunteer time to help to make the revitalization of our neighborhood possible. I'm very glad to announce that Shaw Main Streets has been chosen by the National Main Street Center, which is a division of the National Trust for Historic Preservation, as a semifinalist for the 2016 Great American Main Street Award. The GAMSA Award is the Oscars of commercial revitalizations in the Main Street world, and we've been fortunate enough here in Washington, D.C. to have 2 previous winners. Barracks Row won it, and subsequently H Street won it 2 years ago. So we're very eager to be the 3rd, which would make us the only city in the country that has had 3 GAMSA winners. So that's a very big deal. And we want to also thank Mayor Bowser for her support. She contributed a letter of support that was included in our application. And perhaps if we're fortunate enough to win, you can accompany us to Milwaukee next May to receive the award.
Wait.
Another city with a great revitalization story going on. So before I hand off the microphone to Mayor Bowser, I wanted to just name the businesses that we're going to be cutting ribbons for today. Obviously, first, we're here at Calabash Tea and Tonic. Next, we're going to go to Rito Loco at 606 T Street Northwest. Evans and Chambers Technology at 635 Florida Avenue. Duffy's Tavern at 2106 Vermont Avenue. U-Scoot at 1949 Vermont Avenue. Freedom Lounge at 1920 9th Street Northwest, Noble Lounge at 1915 9th Street Northwest, Unleashed by Petco at 1550 7th Street Northwest, Red Valet Cleaners at 910 P Street Northwest, Piazza Ethio Cuisine and Cafe at 1336 9th Street Northwest, Chair Ethiopian Restaurant, 1334 9th Street Northwest, District Pilates at 1302 9th Street Northwest, Shaw Yoga at 1240 9th Street Northwest, and then we will close, last but not least, at TG Cigar Lounge at 1118 9th Street Northwest. Let's have a round of applause for all of these businesses. So I would like now to bring to the microphone our city's mayor, who has, over her career of public service, demonstrated steadfast support for small business development in our city, all three ways, both as an A&C commissioner initially, as a city council member representing Ward 4, and now as mayor of the District of Columbia. We are very grateful as the Main Streets community as a whole for the support of every mayor since the Main Street program was initiated back in 2002. It started under the Williams administration, continued under the Fenty administration, had the support of the Gray administration, and now we have been embraced by the Bowser administration as well. So Main Street is a concept that works. The level of investment, per municipal dollar that is invested in a Main Street is over $3 for every dollar that is invested. And we've recently had some statistics that have confirmed this and some research. So we're glad to be part of the revitalization of many neighborhoods across the city, and a growing number. I know that several new neighborhoods are being added to the program, and perhaps DSLB Director Anna Harvey will share some of that information with us when she comes forward. But Mayor Bowser has been there when our city, was not flourishing and when our neighborhoods were struggling. And now we're very happy to have her here in a neighborhood that is flourishing. And we're looking forward to having you at many more of these events. We're looking at about 40 new openings in the course of the next year. So without any further ado, ladies and gentlemen, Muriel E. Bowser, Mayor of the District of Columbia.
Thank you, Alex. Thank you. Well, good morning, everybody. I was really excited to hear that list. It sounds like we are going to see some fitness, tech, cocktails. What else? Ethiopian food, you name it. So we're celebrating a lot today. And Alex is absolutely right that Main Streets work and that revitalizing our neighborhood corridors has to be on the top of our agenda. There are a lot of things that cities do to encourage development, big development, and I always tell everybody that it's the neighborhood developments that I hear most about. People want to know what's going on their Main Street near where they live. What small businesses are coming? How can they lead their daily lives in a short walk or a short ride from their own home? And so that's why it's so important that we concentrate on our neighborhood corridors across all 8 wards of the District of Columbia. I'm very happy to be here with your council member, Brianne Nadeau. Give her a big round of applause. She has done a terrific job advocating for the interest and the people and the small businesses of Ward 1, and I look forward to working with her hand in hand on these wonderful developments. I'm happy to introduce to some of you, but certainly to a person who has been in the trenches for small business development and our Director of DSLBD, Director Anna Harvey. Give her a big round of applause. I am also want to acknowledge all the leadership of the Shaw Main Street, and I know that Gretchen Wharton is here doing double duty. There's art and small business development, which is so important to us all. Give her a big round of applause. Our friends who are also been very heavily invested in turning around this particular corridor at 4 Points. We want to acknowledge them. I know Stan Boudry is here. Give Stan a big round of applause. And finally, Senyata Amon. Where is she? In this beautiful, beautiful establishment. I got to know Senyata as a business owner in Tacoma in Ward 4, and I am very pleased to see that she's doubling down in the Shaw on this Main Street as well. I think that you're going to find, as you can already see, fantastic, interesting taste and offerings to the people of the District of Columbia. What you're also going to see with this business business is that people who live near here will come, but people will travel here to Shaw to see what they can taste and see in this beautiful calabash tea and tonic. So I'm always encouraged and inspired, and in some ways in awe of small business owners, because it is hard to run a small business, isn't it? Gotta make the rent, hire the people, keep good people, make sure that you're offering what nearby residents and those traveling to your business want, and always stay ahead of the trends. And I think that's exactly what we're going to find here at the Calabash Tea and Tonic. One more round of applause. So while we're celebrating 6 new businesses today, as Alex said, we'll be back to celebrate even more. The district is heavily invested in Shaw, in the big developments that you've seen that have been delivered. I told people frequently that I spent a lot of time in this neighborhood as a child. My grandmother's late years, she lived right close by here, and so I remember that giant and what it used to be like on the little errands that I had to run. And now we have the giant right here in Shaw. We're also heavily invested in making sure that we can continue to appreciate the wonderful diversity of Shaw. You will hear me talking about the investments that we can make with businesses, but also in making sure that we have affordable housing in the Shaw neighborhood. And I want to thank Councilmember Nadeau for her leadership in making sure that any piece of public land that we have in Shaw, if we're going to develop it, that we are making sure it can be affordable for people of all incomes. And that's exactly what we were able to do at 965 Florida Avenue. And that is so important. So some people will criticize me sometimes. I know you find that hard to believe, Janetta. But I tell them all the time, I'll make the argument for affordable housing all day long. That's a argument that I'm looking forward to having, and we have to do more of it. I was here a few weeks back, and I told everybody, and I know Alex that you would agree that this is our Shaw, and that we are invested not only in affordable housing and business development, but also in making sure that we have great transportation options, and we have art, and we have recreation, and that we have a safer and stronger DC. And so that's my commitment. I am so encouraged by the partnership with the Shaw Main Streets, with our small business owners, and we're here to help. And so I want to end this way. I want to make sure everybody sees Anna Harvey. You see her? Yeah. Okay, see her? So when you see her, work her really hard. Work her really hard, and then work her some more, because she has a great vision and energy, and she's as passionate about small businesses as I know you are in Shaw. So good luck, congratulations, and I look forward to having some tea.
Thank you, Mayor Bowser, for walking the talk when it comes to small businesses and affordable housing in our city and in our neighborhood. Next, I'd like to bring forward Ward 1 Councilmember Brianne Nadeau. Councilmember Nadeau has a great track record of working with small businesses, initially as an A&C commissioner representing this very A&C commission area, 1B, as well as now as the council member representing Ward 1. And she's come out to every event in Shaw that she's been invited to. So we're very grateful for her partnership and her support. Councilmember Nadeau.
Thank you, Alex, and thank you, Mayor Bowser, and everybody here. Sunyata, what a wonderful kickoff. Actually, I got to come here last night, and I wasn't doing advance work. We're not that fancy on the council, but actually this space really has already become a part of our community, because last night we were doing one of our public safety walks in this area, and you may know that it was pouring rain. And I said, all right, we're going to do this rain or shine. And then we got outside, and everyone said, Councilmember, can we do it inside? So Sunyata opened her doors, and we came in, and we did walk in the rain a little bit. But we were so pleased to have this as a community space for us when we were meeting to talk with residents. We brought out MPD and DCRA and so many community partners to do this work. And And we're here today to talk about economic development, not public safety, but I do want to just mention how happy I am to have Mayor Bowser as a partner on these public safety issues, for her leadership, for the program she sent down in the supplemental budget that goes into effect tomorrow on these issues. And there are things that we still grapple with, even as we see this wonderful economic development. So I want to thank her for that leadership. We can give her a round of applause. Now, Mayor mentioned the project up at 965 Florida Avenue, just a few blocks from here, and we're going to go to Duffy's later, and you'll be able to see it from that spot. And we originally were going to start at Duffy's this morning, and I'm glad we ended up at a coffee shop, because if we start at a bar, it's a different breakfast cocktail. But we'll be up there later. And Andy Duffy was someone who put down roots in the neighborhood before anyone else did, and it was a space that the families could come and have dinner and watch some games and hang out. And we're so happy that it's reopening. But part of that story is what's happening now in Shaw. And that is this parcel that the mayor has prioritized. Her first land deal is here in Ward 1, here in Shaw. And I am so proud to be a part of that. I'm so proud to have a mayor who really understands economic development, who understands the partnerships it takes, the developers who come to the table, the community members and their voices, and how to prioritize affordable housing. Because what she didn't say to you was that project came to her desk without as much affordable housing as it has now. It now has 106 units of affordable housing because she pushed for it. That's right. And that's real leadership, and that's a real understanding of the importance of tying economic development also to the needs of the community, and understanding how you can do both and you can win doing both. So I'm grateful for that. And we're here to celebrate, but I also want to just pause to take a look at all the hard work behind the scenes that got us here. Obviously, we've mentioned Director Harvey multiple times today, and the work of the clean teams and the green teams and 4 Points, and just recognizing that the work of Shaw Main Street, and those of you who've been to their annual meeting know it's a celebration every year, because they are growing and thriving, and all of these businesses are not just out for themselves. They're working together as partners in our community and shaping our neighborhoods. So I'm really proud of that. And unfortunately, I have to share Shaw with Councilmember Allen, but it's a good partnership. I just wish it was all mine. That's all I can say. Without resources like the Great Streets Small Business Capital Improvement Grant that helped Sunyata open this space, without our Main Street programs, we wouldn't be thriving the way we are. So I really want to thank everybody who came together to make these things happen. I want to tell you that this is a model that we're looking to replicate across Ward 1. You're going to hear from me up in Columbia Heights. You're going to hear from me further west on U Street. And these are the things that small business owners and neighbors tell me they're looking for in our community. So thank you to all of you who are opening businesses in our community, for those who are keeping our streets clean and safe, for the people who administer the programs that make the funding possible. You know who you are. You've already been mentioned multiple times today, but I want to congratulate you all, wish you much success, and thank you for letting me participate today.
Thank you, Councilmember Nadeau. I don't believe that Councilmember Allen has joined us yet. He's going to try to reach us at one of the Ward 6 stops. And actually, there's 3 wards that Shaw Main Street spans. We also have businesses in Ward 2, and Councilmember Evans is unable to join us this morning. As our last speaker, I'd like to bring forward Anna Harvey, Director of the Department of Small and Local Business Development. DSLBD is the home of the Main Street program and also of the DSLBD Clean Team program as well. So the men and women that you see on the streets of Shaw and a number of other neighborhoods around the city are out there through a number of nonprofits, but only because of the incredible support that we received from successive administrations and the city council to help provide the primary funding. There's also some private sector funding that comes into play, but the ability to have these, in many cases, ex-offenders back on the street and making a difference in neighborhoods that once they were making trouble in is really unique. And we've been recognized nationally for the success of the program. And I will recognize Charlie Whitaker from Career Path DC, who runs the programs for us as well. So I've had the pleasure of working with Director Harvey before and some of the other hats that she's worn over the years, including at the SBA. But it's an incredible partnership between DSLBD and the Main Streets individual local programs. So Director Harvey, please come forward.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you so much. And I just want to express, of course, we run the Department of Small and Local Business Development very proudly, but I really want to talk about pride. Pride as a former business owner. To have your dream crystallized like this, it's hard to express what it feels. I'm going back to the time in which I was planning, I was begging for money. You've done all that, and when you see it happening, and when the mayor comes to see your space, that's what drives me in the morning. That's what gets me up in the morning. That's what makes me work and work harder, just like you said, because I know that behind all the paperwork and behind the grants and behind what we do, there is a person who's waiting to be successful. And if we can do it, if I can do it, if we can do it, that's all we're here for. So yes, we run the agency. We're proud of the developments and the changes and the transformation that we're doing in our department. And you will see it come October 1st, which is tomorrow. You will see a massive transformation. You will see DSLBD more in the street supporting small businesses. But I have to say that it's an agency driven by our passion and our heart for small businesses. So chief advocates, we will support you, we will cry for you, we will scream with you, we will do everything, because that role of business owner that it will never leave my system, will stay with us and will permeate through the agency. So thank you very much. Congratulations again. I know this is a massive, massive achievement, and we just look forward to supporting you and coming here, and everybody will come, and on to the next one when we expand, we will be there as well. So thank you very much. Thank you.
So now we're getting ready to cut the first ribbon. We're going to give Mayor Bowser the 3-foot-long golden scissors and pull out the big grand opening ribbon. And then after we cut this ribbon, we'd like to step outside with the business owners that are here and do a photo op before we move on to the next location. So thank you very much.
1, 2, 3. Welcome to Shaw.